All right, we are going to have to talk about this. No more beating around the bush. And I am, of course, referring to people who overtly cheat on Zwift. Now, I'm not talking about the people who come online with a trainer that is slightly miscalibrated for different reasons. Some of these trainers don't do better than 2 to 3% of the accurate power. Some might be miscalibrated due to somebody reading the manual wrong or whatever, temperature changes, whatever. There's a ton of stuff that can actually influence this stuff. Those are not the people I am talking about. I am talking about the people who come online and do absolutely insane power, having somehow manipulated their gear to misrepresent their actual power output or whatever they might be putting out by, 25, 30%. In this particular race I got running in the background here, the winner did an average of 478 watts over the span of 28 minutes. Now, I'm not saying that cannot be done. It probably can. It absolutely can. But I am going to go out on a limb just a little bit here and say there's probably a good chance that this guy, had he been able to actually put out those numbers, I'm not saying that he can't. I'm just saying this guy did not show up on Zwift Power. And subsequently, I am unable to look him up anywhere else. He doesn't have a Strava profile or anything like that I can look at. So there are no data to go by there either. And I'm just thinking, if this guy could actually do this kind of power, he probably rode a bike somewhere other than just on Zwift and people would know about him. Now, what can we do about this? There's obviously not much we can do about it. These people show up all the time. Sometimes they ruin races. Other times they get flacked. And, it's always just been part of the program here on Zwift. There's nothing new about this. Everybody knows it. What I am talking about, however, is what can we rightfully, as racers and users, what can we expect Zwift to do about it? Well, not too much really, but I don't think I'm asking too much either. What I'm maybe thinking we could do is you have a lot of race series, creators, stuff like that, people who host these series. They're not Zwift per se. It's just clubs uploading to Zwift. And a lot of these people are saying, okay, you need to wear a heart rate monitor in this particular race to be classified on Zwift Power. Now, Zwift Power used to be a separate entity, and Zwift took over Zwift Power about, 4 or 5 years ago? So it's been part of official Zwift ever since then, meaning they control this platform as well. Now, what I'm thinking here is if Zwift allows people to be removed from results in Zwift Power, would it be possible for these people to actually also maybe not be allowed into the pen if they were not wearing a heart rate monitor? Because a lot of these people that you see doing these watts, well, surprise, they're not wearing heart rate monitors so that we can't see their sketchy numbers are done with a heart rate of 110 or something like that. But what I'm talking about here is maybe if we could make it a requirement before you actually enter the pen that you have to wear a heart rate monitor and use it in the race. It's already been set up the way that it can disable and enable steering and braking and stuff like that. So I'm thinking an extra sensor, it's got to be possible in the existing code the way it is. It just needs to be sanctioned by Zwift somehow. And when you have somebody putting out watts like this, say 450 watts over 20 minutes, again, not saying that cannot be done. It absolutely can. There are people out there who can do it also on Zwift who are not on the world tour, who are not pro riders. They're just strong ass. Yeah, not going to swear here. But that's not out of the ordinary. It can absolutely be done. But what is out of the ordinary is that watt output like that does not come with an elevated heart rate. I guarantee you, even though these people are in fact that strong, they're working. And that means that their heart rate is through the roof, just like the rest of us when we're going all out. So what I'm suggesting, or quietly throwing out there, because obviously Zwift is not listening to me, and they shouldn't, I'm just a guy. But what I am talking about here is if we already have power output and we have heart rate numbers, would it be possible for Zwift's current anti-cheat system that they got in place, that weird cone stuff that'll just randomly come on when somebody does a weird surge of power, would it be possible for that cheat system to actually cross-reference power output and heart rate. So if you have a really, really high power output, which it is already detecting the way it is, maybe cross-reference that with the person's heart rate, saying, okay, this guy's doing 450 watts on average, but his heart rate is, say, 110 beats per minute. Something's not quite right here. I think we should probably exclude this person from the rest of the race. That is kind of what I'm talking about here. I'm not talking about the people who just come online with a slightly miscalibrated trainer or who forgot to charge their heart rate monitor or whatnot, because I do that all the time. And I have no idea whether or not my trainer is actually calibrated correctly. It's a kicker 5, so I can't calibrate it. So I'm just going to have to trust whatever it says to me. I got my Asiomas paired up with it. They are usually within 3-4 watts of each other, sometimes over, sometimes under. So I guess I'm kind of in the ballpark here, but I also know that my numbers are not 100% accurate. I just have to go with what it gives me. And like I said, those are not the people I'm talking about. Anyways, I'm just throwing this out there. Most of the time, I agree, it's not really an issue. It's just I've just bumped into some people here 2-3 races in a row that appear to be just a little bit fishy to look at. That is all I'm saying here. I might be blowing this way out of proportion, but I would love to hear your thoughts on it. And basically, what can we do as a community and what can we rightfully expect, if anything, Zwift to do about this? So that's all I'm throwing it out there for. At any rate, everybody take care. I will see you in the next one.